Hello friends, it's Amy Powers here with a process video for episode 265 of Craft Roulette. This week's parameters are gift card, train colors, science, and add a flower. The biggest challenge for me is science. After much deliberation, I decided to try to make a miniature paper Einstein. I printed out some cartoonish images of Einstein to help me. I used Karen Burniston's paper people die. I placed the main body die over one of the pieces that I cut out so that I could use the stencil feature on the die to add eyes. I didn't fill in the circle completely, but I sort of made dashes, and the stencil helps me to keep them even and helps me with placement. I started with the bushiest mustache. I think it works the best. Yes, I think this is going to work. And I cut out all of the hair options and I play around with which one might work. Since Einstein has a high forehead in all of the images that I see, I can see right away that I would need to place the hair behind the head. And none of these are quite right, but I think I could use the longer, curlier hairstyle and cut it down. When I look at the reference images, I notice that the hair sort of tapers in the back, and so I try to mimic that when I cut it down. And although this works great, I have another idea, and I wonder if it will work. What if I use a swatch of fur fabric? It's a crazy idea, but I kind of like it. I cut the hair into something like the shape I need, making sure that I have the hair direction going up and down. And when I put this in place, it looks like fun. I think I'm going to go with it. And now let's get him dressed. We don't want to make Mary blush. I cut a shirt out of white, and I cut some trousers from this paper pack from Hunky Dory. I also cut another shirt out of a paper from this pack to make a cardigan. And to make the shirt into a cardigan, I just cut a deep V down the front, and then I also snipped a tiny bit off the cuffs. And when I put everything in place, it looks fine, but just a little bit too grandpa and not enough Einstein. I think he needs a tie. I don't have a die to cut a tiny tie, so I just freehand it. Yes, I do think that's better. Now let's glue it all down. First, the mustache. And next, I realized that he needs eyebrows. I cut a mustache in half and glue the eyebrows at an angle. And then I glue his clothes on. Next, I sandwiched the hair between the two bodies that I had cut out. He needs shoes. I cut out some black shoes. And I give him a little haircut. I use a marker to pink in his cheeks and another marker to make a little nose. Now, when I looked at the eyebrows, they made him look a little too worried and not as joyful as he is in most of his pictures. So I plucked them off and I made new eyebrows from cutting the bushiest mustache in half, and I was a little bit more careful with their placement. I used a marker to put a little pink under his mustache, not much, just a little to indicate a mouth. And these tiny little flowers are actually nail decals. I'll use them to make a tiny bouquet for Einstein. After I glue them in place, I accidentally use way too much glue. I add stems using 6 strands of embroidery floss, which I glue into place. And then I lightly tug on the floss to make the top disappear beneath the flowers. For the card panel, I printed a quote onto patterned paper and then cut it 3 3/4 by 5. I cut a piece of wooden plank paper to make a bit of flooring on the bottom. I thought I was going to use the bluish wood, but I think the whitewash wood on the flip side works better. There are a couple of details that I added that I don't have a video for. It was too blurry. I used a white gel pen on his eyes, and I went along the edges of his clothing with a matching alcohol pen, so you don't notice so much the layers of paper. I cut a panel of paper from the Hunky Dory paper pad to make a matte layer, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I glued that panel onto an A2 card base. I add a white panel on the inside. And for the gift card, I added a little envelope to the inside. And that's it. I hope you like this week's card. I'll see you on Friday night with the next episode of Craft Roulette. It's so much fun. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye. Hey, if you like this project and want to see more like it,
Let me know by giving me a thumbs up, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Take care.